Hello and welcome to this edition of Business Spotlight. My name is Reza Kodadust from Action Coach, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Dr. Farnaz Arefian. Hi, Farnaz.
Hi, Reza. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Great to have you here today. Farnaz is the founder of Silk Cities. It's an organization. I'll let her explain what the organization is all about. Please take it away.
Thank you very much, Reza. Silk Cities started as a bottom-up initiative, but it grew to become an organization, is a nonprofit for knowledge exchange, international engagement, intellectual capacity building, and research on interdisciplinary issues around cities, urban development, urban resilience, disaster management, and communities' well-being, people who live and use that city. So we initiate, introduce, and organize international conferences, workshops, book publications, and creative projects. And the whole idea is to basically is intellectual capacity building for all,
Yeah.
And I told you, is a nonprofit. Yeah.
Okay. So sounds like an amazing organization. What inspired you to start this whole idea of doing that?
It does have a little bit of personal story behind it. I don't know if I can tell it. When I immigrated to the UK, as a quite successful professional female, so I was very ambitious to go and talk with different organizations, different professional institutes. I don't name them in the UK. And I noticed that there is a general misperception about what local professionals, the people from so-called developing countries, they do, and especially the female ones. So for them, it was very strange that I had a company of my own in my home country. So it stayed in my mind, and I decided to have a basically international conference in the UK, in one of the universities, to talk about the contemporary issues. So in that stage, in that platform, people can come, everyone can come. And Reza, I was knocking on the doors for 2 years, and you can imagine it doesn't go anywhere. But a number of volunteers, actually younger generation, they got interested. So when I started my PhD at UCL as a mature PhD researcher, I shared my vision with the department, DPU, and they supported the vision. So I organized the conference with the help of those volunteers at UCL, Urban Change in Iran, and it became a landmark basically event that even UNESCO sent a message, the size became extraordinary from all around the world, people who were working. And after that, when talking with other people from other countries, we noticed that, yes, there is a gap. There is a gap that, everyone to see and to be seen, to hear and to be heard, and to effectively contribute to the advancement of knowledge and make an impact for having a better city. So Silk Cities started from there.
Yeah, and sounds like an amazing story. But I guess, the organization has grown.
Yeah.
Obviously, your resilience in terms of getting things going and sticking with it is a big attributor to the growth. What else would you say would you attribute to growing this organization the size that it is today?
I think, as you said, persistence. So the power and the challenge of persistence, it is meaningful for people who, who contribute. Almost every week, I receive an email from younger generation. They want to volunteer from all around the world. And I think it's meaningful, and we deliver more than we promise, basically. I think this is the thing. And another thing I think is a very world-class quality of whatever we do. Is not just doing things for the sake of doing things,
Sure.
is meaningful. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can definitely see those attributes, how that could attract a much bigger audience and people wanting to take part. And so we know growing businesses, organizations tend to be challenging. Most people talk about the learnings along the way and if they could do things differently. What are your biggest learnings? What are the things that you may do differently, or the things that you want to share in terms of learning with anybody listening?
I think the first learning is that just start doing things. Many people have idea, but they don't initiate. They don't take any action, and because of some kind of fear. But we learn as we go. I hadn't worked with volunteers before, but now I'm working with them. And so one is this, and another one is delegation. I've started to learn delegation, because when you start as 1 person, 2 person, 3, 4, 5 things, at some point you need to delegate your tasks, and it helps people get happier, when they are responsible for something.
Sure, yeah, and I think those are great shares in terms of getting things going if you have an idea and not worrying about what the future holds. Sometimes you just wouldn't be able to plan for things, and you deal with them as you go, right? Okay, and so you talked about delegation. Obviously, your organization has members, has volunteers, has employees. What kind of qualities do you look for when you're taking people on in any of those capacities? What are the personal qualities, and how do you foster that working as a team, the productive team environment?
I think the most important thing is the professional integrity, and commitment. Everyone who comes, they believe in the vision, they believe in the meaning. So the commitment and the being proactive and the willingness to be part of the team, in the brainstormings, to play their active role is not just, oh, okay, I do this and I leave. No, it's a family, it's a kind of family. And how we foster it? Actually, we have brainstorming sessions. I told you it's horizontal, at least now, for now it's horizontal. And it's, so some of the projects that we initiated, actually, it was from the colleagues. It was the idea from colleagues. So when an idea comes, we discuss it. If it's doable, within our capacity, and resources, so we go for it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, okay, it doesn't work. So yeah, I think it should be, especially in volunteering organization, it should be a two-way win-win situation. So fostering that in whatever aspect.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Another thing is that it's a kind of personal individual mentorship.
Yeah, and all of those things, strangely enough, kind of relate to a working business as well. All of those qualities that you mentioned in terms of the buying into the core values, which makes any organization successful. So thanks for sharing that. So I guess my next question is about how you make what it is that you do relevant. How do you stay ahead of a curve? Please.
The issues and challenges that we are working on, highlighting or shedding light on, they are real world, and they are interdisciplinary. Life is not single disciplinary. Life is not architecture, single urban design, single sociology. Is a combination of everything. So the world is our city, and the status quo of our cities are the main platform to get the ideas from. And we know that the directions that universities work, they are very much into the funding calls, and but because we are not a university, we can explore bringing, for example, intangible heritage to urban governance, linking them, and which is our next conference in Tunisia. And so one is this, and another one, the network that we have, the community, the younger generation, volunteers themselves, and at the same time, we have more experienced groups of actually advisors, supporters, and members who participate in our activities. So from multiple direction, and of course, I also do consultancy work. So I'm on top of the basically ideas about my own specialty. So from different angles, we get that.
I guess my final question is about where you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years, where you see that organization going and yourself and beyond.
I love to see Silk Cities. You know, it is growing and becoming a global hub for capacity building for all and offering equal opportunities for all. So this is my very big vision. And we are working for the 3 years, we are working on revenue streams now, new revenue streams, and delivering training programs on the different fields related to city and city development, urban development. And another thing is developing strategic partnerships to entering new phase of growth, basically. So
I wish you all the success. Really appreciate the time you've taken today from your busy schedule. Really enjoyed our chat and hearing your thoughts on all the topics that we talked about. There was lots of advice, lots of golden nuggets for people to take away. So and I wish you all the success for your future plans. Thank you for coming on the show, and it's been a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure is mine. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Bye.